Before criminology became a discipline, crime was understood as a moral failing or a spiritual corruption, often punished through spectacle and severity. Medieval Europe, for example, relied on executions, mutilations, and public shaming to enforce order, guided more by fear and divine authority than reason. The image of justice was not blind but wrathful, and punishment often seemed less about fairness and more about domination. This world began to change in the 18th century, when intellectual currents demanded that law be measured by rationality rather than cruelty. The Enlightenment introduced an entirely new way of thinking about crime and justice. Philosophers such as Cesare Beccaria, in his On Crimes and Punishments, argued that law should be based on reason, proportion, and the prevention of harm rather than on vengeance. His insistence that punishment must be swift, certain, and mild, designed to deter, not to torture, was revolutionary. Jeremy Bentham, with his utilitarian principles, added that laws should maximize happiness and minimize suffering, effectively treating crime as a calculation of incentives rather than a reflection of sin. This new thinking reframed crime as a human choice, not a sign of inherent evil. If individuals acted rationally, they could be dissuaded from offending by rational laws. In this sense, society was no longer helpless against crime. It could structure deterrence, predict outcomes, and craft justice with purpose. This rationalist optimism, however, also assumed that all individuals had equal capacity to choose freely, ignoring the weight of social, biological, and psychological influences. The Enlightenment's legacy was not only a call for humane punishment, but also the birth of criminology as a systematic inquiry. By asking why people commit crime and how society should respond, scholars created the foundations of a science of law and behavior. Criminology was no longer simply a branch of moral philosophy, but a discipline in its own right. Yet as the optimism of reason expanded, new questions arose. Was crime always a rational act? Could human behavior truly be reduced to choice and deterrence? These questions opened the door to a new era in criminology, one in which science, rather than philosophy, sought to uncover the deeper causes of crime.